All right, The Rage, Carrie 2, although it should be Rachel. Shouldn't it just be like Carrie 2 Rachel? Or I don't know how they would have worded this, but Carrie isn't in it. Although we do get some Carrie in flashbacks. But spoilers, people, obviously, we find out that Rachel is Carrie's sister. Her dad had relations with yet another crazy woman, because I guess he has a type. And he also has an MO. He screws crazy women, impregnates them, and then leaves. So, how many sisters and brothers does Carrie have out there? Maybe the Firestarter kid. Maybe that's his kid as well. I don't know. I never read that book. Maybe that's a connection. I doubt it. All right. So, so her mom in the opening of this is trying very hard to protect her, but hey, unlike the first movie where you have an abusive, overly religious, crazy person taking care of a child and clearly not raising her all that well, she's with her until she's 17 before she goes and she burns down her school. This one, the cops come and take away the kid to, social services, takes away the kid and puts her into a foster home very young. She's very, very young when this happens. And the foster parents in this, I don't know, they didn't go super generic foster parents here where they're extremely abusive, both sexually, physically, and emotionally. I mean, they could have went so many ways with this. These parents they're clearly in it for the money. The dad is anyways. And I don't know why he cares as much as he does. Like when she sneaks out of the house and she comes back and he slaps her across the face. I mean, I guess this is a respect thing. He wants her to respect him because he lives under the house. And if she dies while she's out there, it'll be his fault. He doesn't seem to care about her all that much. So they never really build up that relationship. They don't really address that relationship almost at all. But he still kind of treats her like a kid when he feels like it's necessary. I don't know. His relationship with her is odd, but they don't explore it all that much. Mina Savari, which we have a couple American Pie alums here. We have the kid who plays Finch, and then we have Mina Savari, both the characters from American Pie. She plays her friend, and she's in it for a very short amount of time. And when she kills herself and she goes off that building and she hits the fucking windshield, it looks gnarly. It's clearly like, a dummy, but it just the way the face hits and it looks against the glass and it's bleeding and everything, it looks crazy. I like that shot a lot. I liked this movie. I feel like the only thing that brings this movie down much is it's dated. It's very 90s. It's very, very 90s. And when a movie starts with ska, you're watching like a mid to late 90s movie. Anytime you hear like The Real Big Fish or something, you're watching like a late 90s movie. It's funny when you hear that. In this one, I was like, ska? Oh my God, you never hear ska in anything but 90s movies. Another movie where guys are having a point system for fucking women. It's despicable. It's absolutely despicable, but boys will be boys, as people always say. Boys will be assholes, more like it. So her friend loses her virginity. They're all excited. She wants to introduce her to the guy that she had sex with. They have little tattoos together, matching tattoos, best blood, I want to say. I guess they've made themselves sisters like that. And then her friend kills herself before she gets to find out who the guy is. And the guy is the kid from Home Improvement. And he is a total dipshit in this. He wants to introduce her to his friends. He actually seems to be kind of like excited to tell them at first. But then when he finds out that she is a coyote arm, which you would rather gnaw off your arm than wake her up in the morning, he decides to go and break up with her, which we never do get to see in the movie. Which, I don't know. I feel like that would have been a good moment to see in the film, but we do get to see her go off and kill herself. I do like that Sue becomes a guidance counselor at schools. I think that makes perfect sense for her character. not only are people with, people who are a little mentally off themselves seem to gravitate towards that field in general, but the fact that she had this thing happen with Carrie, this bullied girl, and maybe if someone was a guidance counselor to her, could have been better with her, that she would have not done what she did. So I think it makes perfect sense. I like how they make Sue. I like where she went with her life in this. It makes perfect sense. And bringing her back as the through line character, awesome, great choice there. And bringing back the original actress Amy Irving, and hey, as I said with the last movie, I guess she remembered everything. Doctor, Jesus, you need to take that guy's fucking PhD away. She won't remember things. She's 17, you fucking idiot. Then when Rachel here sees her friend has killed herself, this is when we first get to see her powers come. And every time she has her powers, that goes black and white. That's the stylistic choice of the director here. Trying to have his De Palma-esque moments. It's okay. It's fine. The lockers explode. Poor janitor. No one ever thinks of the janitor in these sequences, but he's the one that's going to have to clean all this up. The guys come and they try to buy the pictures from her. Jesse, he's like, come on, I'll swing by later. And she's like, I'm a fucking dyke. I love that. This movie's so 90s. The way everyone dresses, the way Rachel dresses, the outfits she wears, the glasses, the teeny little glasses she wears, the way she does her hair, everything just screams 90s. Jesse sleeps with this hot chick and just isn't into her at all. And when the guys are writing down points, the girl above her got a 1. The next girl is an 8. The girl who's like the hottest chick in school supposedly gets an 8. An 8? I don't know. Maybe because she's promiscuous in her? I don't know. Why is she an 8? I would think she'd be like, wouldn't it be rating? I don't think you should do this at all. But shouldn't a 1 be like the ugliest girl in school and then a 10 be the hottest? I'm not sure how their point system works. But he gets a 30 for Rachel later. So I guess if she's a dyke, then that makes, the odds of you, it makes it much harder, I guess. I don't know. Their point system. I would like to see the 1. I'm curious on who the 1 is on his book. A 1? A 1? So Jesse has slept with, I guess, his girlfriend. Maybe his ex-girlfriend is only counted as 1. I can't imagine the hottest guy in school, the fucking, the wide receiver, I don't know, 1? I don't know. When I saw that on the paper, I was laughing. Anyway, what do you get for a 10? What's a 10? The teacher? If you can get a teacher, that's got to be worth 10. And oh man, when they're talking about the girl who killed herself and Jesse's trying to talk to this cute girl in the car, or can't think of her name, doesn't really matter. But he's like, don't you feel bad? Like, don't you care? And she's like, why? She was a nobody. Oh my God. Could you imagine talking about somebody who died like that? Like, what do I care? She was nobody. She was nobody? Wow. The dog getting hit and rolling under the truck is gnarly. That's fucked up. I don't think that kid would have lived. Then they go to the diner after they take the dog and she finds out it's going to be okay. The dog rolling under the truck like that is dead. Okay? The way he's hit and he's rolling, no fucking way he survived the way he did. He just has like a little thing around him and he like broke a leg. No, that dog is dead. But yeah, they go to the diner together and he's like, the music in here sucks. I wish they had some garbage. And she's like, you like garbage? And he's like, yeah, Shirley Manson, she rocks. Bullshit. No conversation like that has ever taken place between two characters. There are two, like a man to a girl back then. Bullshit conversation. This reminds me of the Mighty Ducks 3. Yeah, D3. When freaking the kid's talking to the girl and he's like, what kind of music you into? And she's like, or he, I want to say, he's like, it's him. Yeah, he says, oh, I'm like into Pantera. And she's like, oh, I love Pantera. Bull fucking shit. Bullshit that these two young children are into Pantera. Whoever wrote the dialogue for him being into garbage and them bonding over that, garbage, really. I'm not saying that there's no guys into garbage. It's just, that's not the band that he would have come up with. I know I'm sounding ridiculous right now, but garbage, no. You might as well have been Ace of Base, right? Yeah, that would be about the same. It'd be like, man, I wish they had some fucking Ace of Base. I wish they had some fucking Cranberries. No Jock would be looking for garbage. It's ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. He would be saying like, oh, I wish there was some fucking Metallica in here, or, you know, Nirvana or something. It's fucking garbage. It just, so forced. It's so forced. We find out that Sue went to Arkham Asylum. So I guess she's a Batman villain. And the kids try to break into her house and scare her, and the kid decides he's going to put on brass knuckles and go in there and beat her up. I'm pretty sure that would have killed her. Jesse is such a good guy in this movie, much like Tommy in the last movie. He's a great guy through and through. But with this movie, what's really cool and different is that in this movie, it's a real romance. Tommy isn't being forced to go out with her, which is kind of fucked up. Sue's trying to be nice, and I get it, but she's forcing her boyfriend to take a girl to the dance out of pity. Jesse is genuinely into her. In fact, he falls in love with her. For real. And so I like that there's an actual romance going on in here. And I like the romance. I like their banter. I like the way they interact. I like their chemistry. I think it's good. And yeah, we find out that Carrie killed 73 people, and we get to see the burnt down school in this, which I thought was really cool to see the gymnasium or whatever that was, with it's all burnt down. That was really cool to see. I don't know why Rachel is so resistant to Sue's help. I'm not really understanding of that in this movie. Is she scared of it? Does she want to reject that it's actually happening? I don't get that. She's so resilient. Like, if Rachel's having these things and someone comes to her and acknowledges them as real, as opposed to being crazy, maybe she doesn't want to accept that they're real. I don't know why, but with Sue being there and being like, look, I'm telling you that I believe that you can move things with your mind. Let me help you with them. I would feel like Rachel would be like, oh my God, thank you. I couldn't bring this up to anybody. But she's like, you know what? Whatever. Leave me alone. I don't need your, like, I don't know. It's weird that she rejects her help like that. Yet another movie where it's like the popular jocks against the, quiet girls who they have sex with them, and then their dads get them off. This was a hot topic at the time. Dudes getting away with whatever because they were popular and they had a free ride scholarship, and they would like pay people off or make it not a big deal or make the girls look out like they were sluts or, whatever. So that was a thing. One of the jocks in this is one of the main characters of a movie called Monster Man, which I covered on Monster Monday. Loved that movie. Saw him and I'm like, that's that guy, isn't it? I looked it up. It sure as fuck is. You can tell that Rachel's never wore makeup before in this movie, which makes sense. And I like that scene where she goes and she's trying to figure out, and she's like in the mirror and she's trying to doll herself up for this guy. It adds to the cuteness of their romance that she's actually into this guy. Kind of reminds me of Carrie in that way, and to the parallels here with them. But it's not the same story over. It's similar, but it's changed enough. And then Sue goes and sneaks her mom out because she needs to tell her, because she needs to listen, because she doesn't want a repeat. The paint can out of the side of the car when she goes and she pops her boyfriend, or whatever he is, Jesse's tires, and spray paints on his car, and then he comes up to her car and she's just holding the can outside the car and then drops it as it drives away. Yes, it's an explanation to the audience that she did it, but there was a better way to do that than that, because if you think of it logically, of her just holding the paint can there as he comes up, it's fucking idiotic. So that was really, really silly. I get the purpose of it for the audience, but they could have done it better than that. They could have panned to the back seat and it could have been back there, or you could have saw paint on her hand, or you could have saw all sorts of different things, but her holding it out the side. I guess she was pulling up and saw him and was like, oh shit, and grabbed it and held it and didn't want it to hit, so she started driving away. I can make a reason for why it would work, but the way it's shot, it's just, it's like telling the audience, I don't know, it's like treating the audience like they're idiots, I feel. I feel like we can figure that out. I feel that it's very odd that Rachel's like, I guess she's trying to be a good sport because she's into Jesse. She's like, I'm going to be okay with your friends even though I don't like them, even though they came to my house, broke a fucking window, got me into trouble, threatened my life, called me, scared the shit out of me, and now that I'm banging Jesse and I'm into him, they come to this party and they're like, sorry, we're just boys being boys. And she's like, well, as long as you pour me a drink, I guess we're good. As long as you pour me a drink, I guess we're good. It's like, what you did is fucked up. She doesn't even acknowledge that. I don't know. She's trying to be cool, but these guys do not deserve it at all. And then, yes, everyone on this party does actually turn on her and starts laughing at her. And this is when her heart beats on her tattoo, and then her tattoo spreads. Nothing like Carrie. And this is one of those scenes where you just got to accept it, because I don't know why being able to move objects with your mind would make tattoos grow on your body. I guess it's stylistic purposes and it makes her look iconic in a way, you know. I like it. I like it even though it makes no fucking sense at all, nor does telekinesis or being able to make fires and whatever. Like, it's okay. I like it. It's something unique to the film. It's something unique to Rachel that Carrie didn't do. I like the look of it. The stuff comes around her face. I dig it. You know? I get it. I get why people wouldn't like it, but I like it. Oh man, her revenge at the end of this movie is better than the one at the end of Carrie. It's more satisfying, I should say. It's more fun. It's more of what I'm into. You get to see a guy's head decapitated. You get to see a piece of glass shard come into a guy's neck, blood, lots of gore, lots of mayhem, people being cut. And then Sue comes up. They kill Sue, which I'm always iffy on, but at least she lasts the entire film and she's doing stuff. But she goes up, she tries to look through. Another guy's looking through the peephole. Double impalement. Freaking fire poker through one guy's head, through Sue's head. The door opens and both of their bodies are impaled head to head through the eye. It is a fantastic shot. It's a fantastic gore sequence. Awesome, awesome stuff. The mom's interactions with her, like her getting her out of jail and all that, I don't know. It does have kind of a payoff because she comes up to her mom and her mom is just like, I didn't save you, you became the devil. I guess it does have a really good payoff. I was going to say it didn't, and then I remembered how it all played out. I watched this last night, but no, actually it does. It does pay off because that's where she has her mom. She's like, hold me, mom. And she's like, no, I made you into the devil. She like runs off. And that's when Rachel just kind of loses everything. But anyway, the sequence where she comes after the kids and she's killing everyone in the house, and then she goes and they all have these harpoon guns. That scene is fucking awesome. The girl's wearing glasses, hot girl. Oh my god, I looked her up now. She's just as hot, if not hotter. Holy shit, this girl is aged beautifully. Look her up. Holy god, she is a beautiful woman. She's still a beautiful woman. This movie isn't even that old. I mean, it's like, what, 20 years old? So it's not too crazy to think that she'd still be looking at like, what, 40, 45 at best. But yeah, she's still gorgeous. Anyway, she's wearing glasses. She shatters the fucking glasses with her telekinesis into the girl's eyes, ripping her eyeballs out. And then the girl turns she's in pain. She turns and hits the fucking dickhead with the harpoon gun in the dickhead, ripping his dick in his balls off of his body, out the back of him, into the pool. And he's got, like, you see the dick and the balls, like, in the harpoon as it's hitting into the water. Awesome shot, man. Fuck yes. Then they go into the pool cover. She kills the guy. She comes, rips her way out, digs herself out, goes up and has her mom moment, goes into the house. Jesse comes in. She's trying to kill him. And then she realizes another power she has here. She can not only rewind the tape, which is fine, but she can zoom in on a VHS tape on a television. That's one hell of a power, that she can zoom in on the footage. It keeps zooming in on his mouth on the TV. It's like, yeah, it's not the camera that's zooming into the television. It's the TV that's zooming into the picture. I was laughing. I was like, what? That is so stupid. But she saves him to take the brunt of it, and ultimately kills herself. And then we move to a year later, and he's kept her dog, and he has a picture of her up on there. So he's still, he really did care for her. And then we have the fake out ending, which is Carrie coming in, him kissing her, and then her CGI shattering, and then him looking like all despondent in a bunch of mirror images of himself. Dumb, stupid ending. The CGI shatter, awful, horribly dated, dreadful ending. But other than that, I really like this movie. It's dated, and it has a dumb CGI moment at the very, very end. But outside of that, I really enjoyed this movie. It is a really fun follow-up movie. I dug it. So, yeah, I'm glad I revisited it. I haven't seen it. It's on Prime. If you haven't seen it in a while, I think check it out. It's got some cool gore sequences. It's got an interesting story. I like where Sue goes. Cool flick. All right, guys.